Two local firefighters who saved a young girl from a burning house 5 weeks ago were honored by the city of Oxford Tuesday night.
The heat just goes on and on across East Alabama. No relief in sight. We'll have the complete hot forecast coming up.
Coming up in sports, we're at the Talladega Superspeedway for Talladega County Football Media Day. We'll hear what the coaches have to say to outlook the 2023 season. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Good evening, and thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News for Wednesday, July 26th, 2023. I'm Mike Stedham.
And I'm Katie Edwards.
The city of Oxford awarded two of its firefighters the city's highest honor Tuesday night for their heroic actions on June 20th, saving 8-year-old Kaylee Caffey from a raging house fire on South Main Street that took the lives of two other people. Lieutenant Kaylin Reeves and firefighter Cole McCoy were given the Earl Haynes Award as family, friends, and other firefighters gathered at the City Council meeting for the ceremony. The presentation was made by Fire Chief Gary Sparks.
With great honor and appreciation for your commendable and dedicated service to save the life of a child during a house fire on June 20th, 2023, without regard for personal safety. Thank you all.
Following the ceremony, firefighter McCoy told EAN News that he had never encountered such thick smoke as he did that morning when he and Lieutenant Reeves went around the back of the house. 3 members of the family had already made it out, and they told the firefighters exactly which room Kaylee would be in. Lieutenant Reeves boosted McCoy into the room through the thick smoke, and he later said the one thing on his mind as they carried out the rescue was the phrase, "I can't fail." And then he relied on his years of training and experience as a firefighter.
In that moment when everything kind of was running 110 miles an hour, that's really the only thing you have left to go back on is how well you're trained up and how well you know your job.
Lieutenant Reeves said Kaylee was not in the part of the room where they had expected to find her, and the intensity of the fire made it impossible for them to see where she was.
Some of the thickest smoke I've ever seen. The thermal imager wouldn't work for me or for firefighter McCoy. It was very, very thick smoke and zero vis.
Reeves said he was able to hear Kaylee whimpering on the other side of the room, and he was able to direct McCoy over to where the noise was coming from. It was that sound that saved the young girl's life.
Honestly, with losing the ability to see in that moment, maybe my other senses were a little more heightened, and I was able to hear her whimper a few times, and that kind of directed me, and she's not on this side where we initially thought she's over here, and that got us right there to her.
McCoy said he found Kaylee covered up, and he had to remove blankets and other items covering her before he could pick her up and bring her to the window, where he handed her over to Reeves. She was then taken by ambulance to Children's Hospital in Birmingham for treatment of burns and smoke inhalation, and she was back home with her family in less than a week. Also at Tuesday's council meeting, the city honored all of the firefighters, paramedics, and police officers who were on the scene and took part in the rescue that morning.
When we come back, we'll tell you about some weekend activities taking place all over Calhoun County this weekend.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
The new Noble Street Park at the intersection of 11th and Noble will be the central location for this week's 4th Friday Makers Market. In the heart of Noble Street Park, you will find craft and artisan vendors along with live music. Along 11th Street, you will find more vendors, food trucks, and a free kids zone. Thanks to the city's new Downtown Anniston Arts and Entertainment District rules, adults will be allowed to buy beverages from participating bars and restaurants and then bring them along to 4th Friday. The program runs from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. and it will feature a scavenger hunt organized by Main Street Anniston. Participants can get a scavenger card at the Main Street tent and then return the completed card by 9 p.m. for a chance to win a prize basket donated by Old Noble, which is opening soon at 1028 Noble Street.
And then on Saturday morning, you're invited to come back to downtown Anniston to celebrate Sam Stewart Saturday, which is sponsored by the RMC Foundation at the downtown market. There'll be a chef's demonstration from Afina's, live music by Railroad Avenue, contests, and prizes. This event honors the late Sam Stewart Jr., who helped bring the farmers market back to downtown Anniston.
When we return, there's a new location in Sacs for county residents who want to recycle and help the environment.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
There is now a recycle trailer located in Sacs at Christian Corner Meats on US 431. This site will accept cardboard, plastics, and aluminum, so you can help preserve the environment by bringing those items down to the trailer.
The Oxford Police Department is asking for the public's help in locating Jesse Dillon Bishop. Bishop has an outstanding felony warrant for burglary in the 3rd degree. If you have any information about the whereabouts of Bishop, please contact the Oxford Police Department at either 256-831-3121 or at 256-835-6122. Well, lots of activities going on this weekend, but I think people better bring a lot of sunscreen.
I think so. We'll have to check with John Holder, who joins us now in the EAN Weather Center, to see if sunscreen will in fact be needed as the week continues.
Well, Mike and Katie, with all the heat that we've had across East Alabama, that means we've also had a lot of sunshine, and the UV danger, the sun danger, the sunburn danger is extremely high across East Alabama. We'll show you how bad it is actually here in Anniston and the surrounding areas, and the complete weather forecast for all of East Alabama next.
Well, my name is Mike Craven, and we recently purchased an open carport, metal carport from Waldrop Manufacturing. I have an extra car. We have a very small home, very small driveway. And I needed somewhere just to park another vehicle, just out of the weather. And I had been told by 2 or 3 friends that knew we had recently remodeled a home that Waldrops were the people that you need to go talk to. I was in that area one day and I thought, hey, I'll just stop in, and I did without calling, and greeted warmly, well taken care of. It was just, really the whole process was just good from day one.
Temperatures just continue to be on the upswing across Calhoun and Cleburne counties. Again today, temperatures very hot, 94 for the high today. We had one shower that popped up in the mountains of Cleburne County up around Rabbittown. That was about it today. 69 for the nighttime low. Record high 100. We're getting close to that, folks. 56 for the record low. And you see the averages there and the sunrise and sunset times. 5:52 now your sunrise, 7:48 your sunset coming up tonight. Let's take a look at weather on your street here in East Alabama. Clear and very warm tonight out on Airport Road in Oxford, out by the Anniston Municipal Airport. 71 for the low tonight. If folks fly out of there a lot of times tonight, there's a lot of planes that fly out of there, and they're going to have a clear night tonight all across East Alabama. No problems whatsoever on Airport Road in Oxford. Your Thursday, more of the same. Cedar Springs Road in Cedar Springs. Lots of sun and heat there in central Calhoun County. Even warmer tomorrow, 97 for the high. There is a chance that there could be 1 or 2 showers pop up like we had today, but really we're not going to mention that because that chance of rain is less than 10% in any one location coming up on Thursday, including out at Cedar Springs. For the start of the weekend, as we get into Friday and perhaps Saturday, as we look ahead to the weekend, it is going to be sunny, it's going to be hot, it's going to be dry, more of the same. Alabama Highway 9 out in Goshen, up between Piedmont and Center. A lot of folks heading that way on the weekends in the summertime, finding relief from the heat because they go kayaking and canoeing on Terrapin Creek up in Goshen. If you're heading to Terrapin Creek this weekend, the water's going to feel pretty good because you get out of that water and it's going to be looking at sunshine, hot temperatures, mid-90s at least, creeping toward the upper 90s as we begin the weekend here across East Alabama. The 7-day forecast, we are not going to show any rain as far as our icons go. We will show you that on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, less than a 20% chance of a shower. Call it 10 to 15%, something like that. Maybe 1 or 2 that might possibly pop up. I really don't think we're going to see much of anything, and so we're going to roll with a totally dry forecast. Temperatures in the mid-90s through the weekend. We're going to keep those mid-90s in the forecast for the beginning of next week. As we close out the month of July and begin the month of August, temperatures are going to be in the 96 to 98 degree range. Nighttime lows in the 70s. And the thing to keep in mind with those nighttime lows, that doesn't come until about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. In most of the evening hours, we're going to be in the 80s every night here across East Alabama. Well, we talked about the effects of the sunshine. This is the UV index for Anniston, Alabama today. And you see that we have 5 levels here: low, moderate, high, very high, and extreme. Extreme is anything that is 11 plus. Today in Anniston, Alabama, it was 11. That was the UV index, and that means we are at extreme danger for sunburn and having problems with your skin. Basically, and we'll show you some of this coming up tomorrow, what the health folks say when we have a UV index of 11, that means you really don't even need to be out in the sun between about 10 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That is when the sun is at its highest point and most intense as well. And we do not see this number changing anytime in the foreseeable future. Hot today all across East Alabama, but still football season is coming. Chase Robinson was covering the Talladega County Media Day today. Here he is now with sports.
Thanks, John. We're here at the Talladega Superspeedway Talladega County Football Media Day happening today. We had a chance to hear from the Talladega County head coaches as they preview the 2023 season. We'll start with the Munford Lions and Coach Michael Easley as he goes into his 5th season as head coach. One thing Coach Easley has the task of this season is replacing Sylvester Smith, who played on both sides of the ball and is now on the roster at Tennessee. Coach Easley talked about how he looks to fill those holes.
That's the ongoing battle at the quarterback position. We've got 3 different guys you'll probably see at some point in there, and we'll work that over the next 4 weeks in fall camp. On the defensive side of the ball, A.J. Denson, he's going to be a junior. He's going to kind of step in at safety for us, and he's played DB for us the last couple of years, and he's played some corner and some safety, but he's had a really good offseason. So we're obviously we're not going to ask him to do everything that Sylvester did. Sylvester was an SEC athlete, so we were able to gamble with him some and do some things that we wouldn't ask other players to do. But AJ's had a good offseason and a really good summer.
Munford plays in a tough Class 4A Region 4 and was able to finish 4th in the region last year and earn a spot in the playoffs. Coach Easley talked about how their tough region games helped in the playoffs. It was big for us, not only our region but our non-region games, with especially right there in the middle with Cherokee County and Lincoln. We got in the playoffs and we go up against a region champ who had a good team, don't get me wrong. But
we were up with about 1:45 left in the game. I mean, we almost pulled it off, and we were a little depleted with injuries, just to be honest with you. But it was something that felt like another region game to us. It didn't feel like, oh man, we're playing somebody. They're a 1 seed, we're a 4 seed. It didn't feel like a 1-4 game. We just felt like that was another one of our region games, and it was not anything we hadn't seen, and that's what we walked away with.
Next up, the Lincoln Golden Bears, and Coach Matt Zedeker enters his 7th season as head coach of the Golden Bears, and over his time at Lincoln, he's seen firsthand this program grow.
Obviously, I'm more of an old school type where obviously nowadays it's all about wins and losses. And unfortunately, that's kind of where sports has gone. Obviously, that's important. Winning's important. Creating a culture, to me, is more important. From where we started 6 years ago to where we are now, I think we've grown our numbers. My first year, we finished the year with 32. Right now, we have 93 players out. So I think we've gotten everybody that's in the hallway out, been part of the program playing football.
Today was the opening day of fall camp for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks as they enter year 1 as an FBS program. Going into year 2 for the Gamecocks under head coach Rich Rodriguez, they began to prepare for their week 0 matchup with UTEP on August 26th. As their first practice closed, we had a chance to talk with Coach Rich Rod about his thoughts on day 1.
Because we had some work time, like with them in the summer, we can work with them a little bit, but that's not offense against defense. It's not as competitive as this would be. And so I told the guys, unfortunately, I saw somebody loaf on about every play, and sometimes more than one guy. And we're going to watch it on film. Our guys, especially our new guys, don't even realize they're loafing when they're loafing. But we'll point it out. And then every day we should get better with that, because that's the one thing we talk about. If you loaf, you play for the other team. You're a traitor. And nobody wants to do that. And so our guys will get that fixed.
This summer, Gamecock quarterback Zion Webb was granted a waiver from the NCAA to compete in his 7th season. Webb has battled some injuries during his time with the Gamecocks, but was a key piece of the success last season in year 1 under Rich Rod. We caught up with Zion Webb today after practice, and he talked about when he got the news, he got the waiver for year 7.
And it was great. I went around actually showing everybody. I'm showing everybody the email and making sure, hey, bro, yeah, I'm coming back. Let y'all know. So that was it for me. It was exciting, man, just to understand and know what I meant getting into, just to be comfortable and not knowing I'm working out for nothing. Just know I'm getting my year back, so it's pretty good.
We'll have more high school football media day coverage coming up on Friday, as we'll be in Calhoun County at the Anniston Country Club for Calhoun County Football Media Day. We'll have coverage of that on the East Alabama Now Facebook and YouTube pages. But that's it from Talladega Superspeedway for the Talladega County Football Media Day. Let's go back to the studio now with Mike and Katie.
Thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News.
You can find us here online every weekday evening starting around 6:30 on either Facebook or YouTube. Just go to our video feed and watch the news whenever it's convenient for you. We're working hard to build our audience, and you can help us by liking and sharing these newscasts.
We'll see you back here Thursday for your news on your schedule.